I'm Ryan Nickel, CTO at DSA Ocean, and today I want to talk about quickly generating a time series of ship motion using the ProteusDS ShipMo3D toolset. So for this example, we're going to work with the 50-meter generic yacht. You can really do this with any ship project, but I'm just picking this as an example. So here's the ship. This is the bare hull, unappended hull in build ship right now. And why you'd want to do this and generate a time series is just a really quick and simple way to get some idea of time variation. So when you're looking at, for example, outputs of Seakeep Random, you see lots of RMS values all around the hull. It's super useful, very important to know this kind of information, but sometimes it's easier to get a sense of what's happening when you're looking at a time series of data. So we're going to ultimately use an application within the ShipMo3D toolset called TimeSeriesFromRAO. First thing we got to do is generate the RAO itself. So what we do is we go to Seakeep Regular. If you don't have this in the project, you either add new data and go to Seakeep Regular, or if you've got something you want to work with, you can use that. But Seakeep Regular is pretty straightforward. What I want to use is the bare hull configuration file, and then we have a couple of different forward speeds and directions and wave frequencies to consider. So we just run this, and if you want, you can look at the motion RAO values out of this. So at 0 speed, beam C, we see a pretty peaky roll RAO and so on and so forth. So if we look at time series from RAO, again, how to add this to your project if you don't have it already is add new data, time series from RAOs. Or if you can add existing data if you don't have one. I was playing with this earlier, so I've kind of already got it in here, but the two main inputs for time series from RAOs are motion RAO database file name and then a seaway file name. So now I just generated this one just now. So there's our Seakeep Regular motion RAO file that was produced automatically when we ran Seakeep Regular. Now the other thing you want to do is generate a seaway, and this is describing the seaway parameters that you want to use. And again, this is another application. And again, if you don't have it in your project, you go add new data, build seaway, or if you've got a few of them in a folder, build, add existing data, build seaway. Now build seaway is pretty straightforward. So there's a few basic inputs. You can choose if you want to have a couple different spectrum options. Unispectrum is just like one wave spectrum, of course, and you've got a range of wave frequencies that you want to specify the spectrum type here, and then significant wave height, peak period, and and there's a few things here like some seed numbers for making sure you've got a different realization of that sea state. There's also a heading option, so you can change the absolute heading of the mean direction of the sea. So we'll just save this and run this. Okay, so we've got our seaway now, and we have our seaway file name here already added. Now, what you specify here in time series from RAO is you can get information out of here, like you can put seakeeping positions on the ship to get what the velocities and accelerations are at each point if you want. This is all going to be a linear calculation based on the motion RAO. But right now I'm just interested in getting basic displacements. So we specify the absolute ship behavior as well. So ship speed, what's the ship heading, all of that kind of stuff. And it's going to be, we've got the sea state on top of that, right? Now we also have our time parameters here. So how much data we want to generate. So this is 1500 seconds, and then like the file output increment. So, and of course it's really easy to change these things. I'm just going to leave these all as default. I'm going to run it, and it's all done. So it doesn't take very long to generate that data. You can view the output here, but you can select information from here. Though it is a .out file, it is just a text file, and you might find it a little bit easier to go into Windows Explorer and then use your own tool you're familiar with to directly process the data. Or I use Notepad++. Sorry, that's the S3I. That's the input file. We don't want that. Date modified. Here we go. This is just generated. The .out file is what we want. edit with Notepad. So scroll down a little bit and you can see the displacements from ship and CG. So here's all the raw data. You may want to copy and paste this into Excel to do some charts, or use it for your own scripting or input file process. Anyway, for now, I just wanted to show how to quickly go about generating this time series of data. There is another video coming on making some comparisons between time series with and without stabilization I'm working on, and we'll show how to do some plotting in that video. But that's all for now. All right, thanks for watching.